My brothers and sisters in Christ, in today's first reading, we follow the continued story of Jacob, who now has in his long travel a very mystical vision, the scene that we call Jacob's ladder, the scene of angels ascending and descending on a ladder from heaven. He marks the spot to Jacob's mind. This spot becomes literally the very place where heaven and earth meet. You could say this is the inspiration for Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven, the classic rock song. And so that this idea of the place. So if we think of, for example, earlier in Genesis, the Tower of Babel, this place of man trying to build his way to heaven, and God throws us down. Now instead, God reveals to Jacob this way, this threshold, this reach, this connection between heaven and earth. And so Jacob recognizes this and sanctifies it as a blessed spot at Bethel, but this image really comes to fruition for us. We don't hear it in today's readings, but we hear at the beginning of the Gospel of John in chapter 1, the image as Jesus speaks that you'll see angels ascending and descending upon the Son of Man. Jesus is invoking this image to point to himself as the junction point between heaven and earth, connecting the heavenly reality and the earthly reality. Literally, God, the God-man, the one who is God and yet fully man, connects heaven and earth, and Jesus himself becomes the connection point to heaven, the means, the ladder, the stairway to heaven. And so, as in today's first reading, we hear that God upon this image speaks of the great birthright, of how this will be a means of God having a holy people to be made his own. So by the cross of Jesus is salvation opened to the entirety of the human family, not just to a family of one lineage, but the lineage of all of those who become brothers and sisters of Christ become of the household of God. And so in Saturday's reflection, I talked about the strange episode of Jacob and Esau, the act of deception, but a beautiful image that St. Louis de Montfort brought forth about how we are dressed, in a sense that we are pleasing to the Father because we wear Christ upon ourselves. We smell of the fragrance of Christ, and so though we are sinners, we are pleasing and receive the Father's blessing as for his beloved Son. In the same way, this passage is a reminder to us when we're told to take up our cross, we are called to literally take Christ upon ourselves. That our path to salvation isn't one of our own construction, but to be joined to Christ, to join with him in taking up the cross, and join to him, the one who joins heaven and earth, only through the cross. There is no other way. Only through the cross can we reach heaven. And so, we cannot flee from the ugliness that we perceive of the cross. We cannot seek through our ego to achieve our own, to earn heaven, but instead, through the humility of putting on Christ, to being joined to him in his great love and mercy, and taking up our cross with him, then and only then can we come to our heavenly homeland and hear the words of our Father blessing his beloved sons and daughters. May God bless you all.